In April 2012, founder of Proud2bME, Adelmom de la Graça, was invited by PAN, Parenting in Africa Network, to present at a workshop in Nairobi, Kenya, with 3 other parenting programs from other countries. The first day, all 3 organizations presented to a selected group of participants, representing different organizations from Kenya, Tanzania, in the network of PAN. It was then decided by the group that they will dedicate the full second day and half of day 3 to Adele to do a 1.5-day pilot for this group to get an idea of the impact and outcome of the Proud2bME methodology and content with parents and secondary caregivers in Kenya, Tanzania. This is what some of the participants had to say after attending the pilot.
Myself, I was very impressed about your presentation of yesterday, especially those 5 HARAs. Means responsible me, home, community, school, community, and the nation. This concept is really, touched me because if at any level people or a person is responsible or taking action or fulfilling what he's supposed to fulfill, then I think we are going to make a paradise for children to live. Not only children, even for the whole people. Because I think this concept is also applicable to other areas of like leadership. If the leader is responsible, is conscious about his roles and responsibilities at his position, means he will produce something for the rest of the people who he is leading. And even yesterday we were talking about these 3 styles of parenting, like landing stripes. If you know, for instance, the pilot, the airplane pilot, he's conscious about what he's carrying with him in the plane. So if he made mistakes, then he's causing the problem to the rest of the people he's carrying. So it seems that we need to educate people, to empower people, to know that there are some people they are carrying with them.
Valuable cargo.
Yes, yeah. So that they must be conscious and make sure that what they are doing is can impact the people they are carrying with. So they have to make sure that they are landing in a right way, in a right angle, to make sure that people are safe. I think that is really something which touched me yesterday.
Sure.
Yeah, this is can be applied in different ways. Not only parenting, but in other areas.
Okay, for me, after we went through this yesterday, it has actually, the whole experience has answered my questions at community level, because a lot of times, some of the things that we were doing here, what I learned here, for example, when we learned about the different parenting styles, I have seen how it fits, how it affects our schools, and it's like, I was saying before, schools were very authoritarian, and then corporal punishment stopped, and then it became permissive. So I'm looking at how I'm going to use this experience to bring about the landing, the landing parenting style, the airstrip, the landing parenting style, so that teachers don't feel like children are taking over, so that teachers are able to balance between being authoritarian and being permissive by having this middle one. And then some of the experiences that we had, like when we had that exercise where our colleagues went out and the rest of us remained, that we were instructed to ignore them, Okay, maybe because my colleague was a man, but I really saw how in my community there is violence in the family, and a lot of times women don't know why they were beaten. It's like I was just quiet. I really saw the power of not communicating, what it can create. It is so annoying. It is so, you see your partner really getting mad at it. So I'm really going to use that at my community. But generally, again, I've seen why some of the things, like when you are asking somebody, but why couldn't you do this? You know, guy, you are 40 years, you have to reason like you're 40. And we never look at what was ahead of them. Did they go through that coaching? Did they go through, what did they go through at imprint stage, at impressionable stage? I'm really seeing this, and it will be of great use to my community when I go back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And would you like the training? Would you like the training to come to your organization and to your community?
It's lovely. Already, like we were discussing with my colleague, that after this, we want first of all to get like 50 youth who are like age 24, 25, 26, who are not yet married. And maybe just to go through this parenting program with them, just talk to them about what it means to be a parent, what it takes. Because also at a community level, you get, people don't take parenting as a responsibility. You know, it just happens. It's just something like, I'm of age, I get married, there's no preparation. But really after this, I've seen, if you don't prepare to be a parent, then you will have disaster. Yeah. And even at personal level, I've seen a lot of things that maybe, if I had gone through this, I would have been a better parent. I'm trying to be good, but yeah, I know I would have been a better parent, because a lot of times now it's like, you are learning and then you are struggling to change. But if I had gone through this before I had my first boy, I would have been a superb mother.
Sure, despite of all this good we learn, I am still recalling back to my community the way they used to do their things. They have the way, they have their lifestyle, which it is really, really hard. Try to convince them from authoritarian to permissive, not even permissive, to what? Land, Christian. It's really, really difficult a bit. But there's no way out. We should have to work so hard to make sure we bring them a little bit this way. And that's why the point of training is very, very important. To empower us as actually a project implementer, be able to have TOTs in the community who might help us to convince these people to move from authoritarian, because they are there for sure. Somebody tell, it is really they are authoritarian. They don't believe on actually, they don't believe a child can be a good pilot, not at all. Not at all. And even if you are grown up enough, they say, yes, I'm still your father. So you should have to listen what I'm telling you. Huh? So I don't believe you are correct, even if you are that much big. So it is okay, we can always disturb, as our sister said, knocking to different partners to help us on actually working on those marginalized and special set up groups. Yes, thank you.
I want to encourage.
I want to thank you very much for yesterday's deliberations. I'm really impressed and very, very much touched with the stages in child development. So many times you find teachers and parents are at loggerheads. This teacher is not doing his job well, and the teacher is blaming the parent, and the child is in between here, being kicked by both sides. You are stupid as your mother, what is not, what is. But the problem is the beginning. When the mother got conceived, how did she relate to the child? And even during pregnancy, how did this couple take care of themselves so that they have a stable child? Now, all these things are embedded during this 0 to birth age, and nobody takes cognizance of the fact that they have contributed to the maladjustment of this child. So they start blaming the child, she's a crybaby, tough-headed, whatnot, not taking into consideration that many times the mother was beaten and she ran away from home, and that bitterness translated into the child. And then when the child is born, they say, oh, she's too young to understand what is going on, just let it be. Meanwhile, the child is going out of hand. By the time they realize that the child is out of hand, they start blame games. The child has taken after you, the child has taken after so and so. Yet they are the people who are making this mistake in their own homes. When they leave that stage, the child goes out to school. He's a foreigner in that place. And so many things are opening up to him or her at school level because he has left the attachment in the home. Now he's beginning to make new contacts. And the experience that goes with that at school is very important in the development of this child. Maybe the child wants to reject school because he was not welcomed in school. Maybe he wants to reject school because the children there did not welcome him. He didn't feel like he belonged. And the teachers didn't do anything to make the situation any better. So this child drops out of school. And when he comes back to the community can't welcome him because they look at him as a deviant. One who went to school just dropped. They don't know why this boy dropped out of school, why this girl dropped out of school. And then it continues. What next? You cannot go to school, you're old enough to get married. Getting married because you have acquired the years, but you are not prepared for that. So they throw you into that world of family life. Before you are even ready, you start being a mother before you end up being a child. So in the end, a child gives birth to a child and the cycle begins. I saw it as something very important, and if we can just share this with the youth before they start giving birth to those children, and then try to reach out to the mothers who send their children to go and get married because they see they are tall, they are fat, before they are really prepared for that activity. Then in that case, maybe we will save some child tomorrow because he will have a better understanding parents, and then the parents will be able to understand their roles better and then go through the stages, taking care of each stage as it comes so that they have balanced children.
I can say that my fellow participants has said a lot concerning the program that we have been learning since yesterday, and on how are we going to approach the community that we used to work with. But to me, let me say a little bit that the program to me has come at the right time. And why I'm saying so, it's because I have not been able to raise children. And I mean that I have not yet married. But next year I'm planning to do so. So I was just trying to think that those that I have been learning since yesterday, who is going to be the second beneficial from me? I think it should be the one whom I'm going to live with.
Sure.
And how am I going to impart this knowledge to her? Because others have explained that my mother was so authoritarian, but my father was so calm and honest. But I was thinking, to me, how are we going to live? Are we going to have someone who is an authoritarian? And maybe me, because I have already got the training and I'm not going to be an authoritarian, I'm going to be based on the land straight. But it is always inspiring. From my heart, I can see some kinds of the gaps because of the family background where I was brought. And unfortunately, I was brought on the single parent family because my father passed away and left our mother with 8 children.
Your mother has got a space in heaven.
Yeah.
But thanks to God, because we were able to be brought up in a good way, and I'm the last born in my home. The others, they are already married and they have their homes, but still I can see they are still authoritarian. So the first step is proud to be me. And the second will be the one whom I'm going to be joining with her next year. The third one will be those my brothers and the families around. And after then, I think the community will also be following. So, and I feel demand, I think I need to have more training, the coming session and the coming. Because as I'm trying to reflect on the community, in Tanzania, I'm just coming from the central part. Our tribe is being called Wagogo. One of the culture that we have, there is a big gap between children and their own parents. You won't find a time that children and their parents are always sitting together and discussing. No, it's all about order. That father has said that, you are there, someone is being called, our father is calling someone, you go there, you get instruction, you come back, you give to other, that her father or her mother has said 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no question why, but you have to follow. So there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of gaps on how children are always being raised. But I can see, I as one, I have to be an agent of change. That's why in the day before yesterday, I just said that we should not be afraid and trying to think, how are we going to do this? What is going to happen? No. Change comes from just a single agent. So we here, 20, almost 13, 14, we can be an agent of change in our own society. If we start with ourselves, proud to be me, then the home will come, the school, the community, and then the nation. Thank you.
Oh.
Yes, this learning has really organized me, I can say. Because maybe my experience in the field, I was seeing like, as a paralego, it seems maybe 3/4 of the nation, 3/4 of the parents were to end in prison. Because there's a lot of abuses originating from the families. But with this information, it has organized me and has given me a new vision. That if we apply this knowledge right from me level onwards, we are going to see a happy nation without parents being dragged into prisons and galleries. And also, had seen the family getting extinct. A family was at threat of being non-existent because divorce, domestic violence, rape, and all those things were there. To me now, the family lost its original meaning from the one who instituted with God. But with this kind of information now, it has brought me hope. As I'm going back to the community, it's not a matter of struggle now with the parents. It's a matter of sharing to bring back the glory of the family, like that one before the fall of man in paradise. And also maybe I was, as he was putting it, I had also seen, with this information taken back to the family, the current problems you are now feeling, as Kenya, I don't know, Tanzania and Uganda, it is carrying a possible solution. Like if everybody is going to be responsible, things like impunity, corruption, theft, and all those things is going to be solved. Because like at the moment, it's a situation of grabbing everything for me. But if everybody is going, at least a majority is going to be responsible, you only take what's yours and leave what's for the others. Thank you.
Sure.
My reflection for this learning and linking workshop is mostly based on the methodology. The way Proud2b is doing in terms of methodology of working with the grassroots people, I think it is really impressive because trying to reflect from our program, parenting program in our organization started last year, and unfortunately enough, we didn't have enough skills on how these parents can be empowered. Because having half knowledge or little knowledge and then you go to train others, that is a danger. Because you are sharing the little that you have and you expect someone to train others. So you have a half knowledge, you divide, you share the same with the community, and then you expect them to transfer this knowledge to others. So dividing this knowledge, it will reach the last person with maybe misinterpreted knowledge or completely confused message. So I think from Proud2b perspective, if we undergo an intensive training, we'll be able to offer or to empower parents with the right message by using the right methodology, because that is important. And some of the program failed because of probably poor planning or having little skills on specific areas, because skills is very important in empowering a community. And try to look back in Tanzania, there are so many organizations who are targeting the same communities with a different message. So Mkombozi goes there to train, the other organization goes in the same community to train. So it reaches a time we don't see impact because there's interferences of different organizations. At the same time, we don't see impact because we ourselves who are going there are not equipped enough with the tools that will help to empower the community. So for me, I see from Proud2b, you have the right ways or the right methodology that we can adapt and maybe to tailor-made to suit our community. And the other thing that I see around parenting is that everyone in the community should be reached with a specific message. Those 5 R's are very, very important because it keeps everyone in the loop of making change in the community.
Sure.